Yo, so I'm back with another little ranking video. Yippee! So fun, so great, everybody loves these. I'm gonna be ranking all of the Straw Hats based on how difficult their dreams are. Most of them are pretty fucking absurdly difficult, even impossible. Others, not so much. I have seen, I think in my Shorts tab on YouTube, I'm not on TikTok, fuck TikTok, even though at some point I'm probably gonna have to be on TikTok if I ever want YouTube to work. Fuck TikTok though. People have already made shit similar to this, but fuck it, I'm putting my own little spin on it, like Pal World did with Pokemon. Oh my god, I'm making such hip references, look at me. Well, let's not waste any time, let's get straight into this shit. The Straw Hat with the easiest dream in the fucking crew is Brook. I mean, come on. All he has to do is see a fucking whale that has been in the same spot for damn near 100 years. If he wanted to, he could just leave the crew and do it on his own with fucking ease. Although, with the crew, he's gonna end up having to be one of the last to accomplish this dream, because as you'll see, most of the dreams in the Straw Hats are pretty fucking intertwined. Next up, we got Usopp. So, Usopp's dream on the surface isn't all that difficult, but for him personally, it's pretty fucking hard, and he's one of the few Straw Hats that doesn't have a dream that needs somebody else to, you know, help with it. It's all on him. Being a brave warrior of the sea, it's just a personal battle for him. He's fighting his own demons here. I'd say it's slightly more difficult than Brook's, purely because all Brook has to do is go to a location that isn't hard to find. It's not like the Reverse Mountain is fucking Laugh Tale or anything like that. Next up, we got fucking Frankie. So Frankie's dream is to have the best ship ever and have it travel the world. So this specific dream or goal already technically been done before by Frankie's fucking sensei Tom, R.I.P. Tom, but it ends up being a pretty difficult dream because he actually has to end up being the best at something, and that's not so easy. Alright, next up, we got Nami. So Nami's dream is no easy feat, being that it has only been done by 1 or 2 people ever, you know, making a fucking map of the world. And this dream requires going to Laugh Tale, which is something that pretty much nobody else has done as well. But at the end of the day, she just needs to ride around with a strong crew that can make it to Laugh Tale. That's about it. Next up, we got someone who is in a very similar vein as Nami, and not just because they both have tits. Next up, we got Zoro. So I know what you Zoro dicksuckers are already thinking, that becoming the world's strongest swordsman is fucking impossible, blah blah blah. But this dream has already been achieved before, and achieved by multiple people at that, you know? There's always a world's strongest swordsman at all times, technically. And he has had training by the current world's strongest swordsman as well. So there is a specific blueprint for Zoro to follow, which not everybody in the crew has. Alright, now we got Robin with her poneglyph dream. So in order to achieve her dream, you need to know how to read poneglyphs, which is by no means an easy feat. Pretty much nobody knows how to fucking read poneglyphs. And you need to find all the poneglyphs as well, which is pretty much impossible unless you have a very strong crew. So Robin's dream is basically just a more difficult version of Nami's. Okay, so this next one here is my personal hot take of the video, alright? You guys are probably gonna get mad at this one if it's not the Zoro one. My next one's Chopper, okay? So if you asked me where Chopper would be on this list a few months ago, he'd be top 3, without a doubt. Curing every single disease is something, to our knowledge, has never been done before. But this is kind of speculative here, but it seems like the boys up in Marriagewell already have a cure to all diseases. When Ginny got Sapphire Scale, nobody knew how the fuck to cure it. But when Bonnie ends up with it, the Gorosei magically have a cure to it. I'm not sure if they just specifically have the cure to Sapphire Scale or what, but it very well could be a cure to everything. So in order for Chopper's dream to be accomplished, they gotta bring down the world government, most likely, which is pretty fucking rough on its own. I could be wrong on this one. If I am, he's probably top 2, easily, in terms of difficulty. Okay, so top 3 here is pretty fucking tough, since one of these individuals' dreams isn't all that clear yet, but they're basically tied. So 3, we got Jinbei, but boy oh boy is it close. So Jinbei wants to pretty much end racism, which is pretty hard. Nobody's done that in real life either. He's the only dream on this list that depends on changing other people's minds and opinions and shit. So yeah, Jinbei at 3, but he could easily be 2 or arguably 1. So at 2, we got Sanji. So Sanji's dream, in theory, is impossible, and it's the endgame dream of endgame dreams, since the red line has to just fucking go away. So Sanji's dream will likely be solved when everyone else's dreams are accomplished, including number 1 on this list, or at least part of number 1's dream. But anyway, number 1, you guessed it, it's fucking Luffy! Who would have saw that coming? So Luffy's dream obviously is kind of a mystery at this point, but if becoming the Pirate King is just a stepping stone to your real dream, your dream has to be fucking insane. Plus, most of the other people on this crew's dream depends on Luffy accomplishing his Pirate King part of his dream to be accomplished. So, he has the most responsibility out of everyone. Everyone depends on him doing his thing so they can do their thing. But yeah, that's about it. Sub to my second channel for fucking One Piece spoilers and shit. I am grinding on that channel. Whenever that fucking chapters drop, I am sprinting to my computer and making sure I get that shit out immediately. But, yeah.